Okay, so yesterday I talked about getting your final ranking, and I just wanted to go through it quickly again with you here so that you can kind of remember what we did. So one thing to remember is that when you are creating your final ranking, you need to make sure that you have finalized you've normalized your final index for each of your values, so that they're all on the same scale. So if we go to my example spreadsheet that we were working in last week, I went through and I created my average of my negative health outcomes and reversed it so that I made high good. And the last thing I did then was normalize it. So I'm going to take that column and I'm going to say edit, copy, and I'm going to go over to my final ranking, and I've created a place for my normalized health. And I'm going to click on that top box and I'm going to say edit, paste special, values only. If you just go command or control C and command or control V, then it's going to paste the formulas. And we don't have the data here to support those formulas. So you have to paste values only. And so now here's all of my normalized health. Also, make sure that all of your tabs, your city names are in the same order. If they're not, the data is not going to line up when we put it over here for our final ranking. Then I'm going to go to my economic opportunities and I'm going to take that final column and I'm going to copy it and go over to the final ranking. And for average economics, go edit, paste special, values only. And I'm going to do the same thing for education. And also for age. And then after that, you are going to have to decide how you want to weigh your different variables or your different values, excuse me. So for me, I created two different ones. You're going to have to decide, do you want them to be equally weighted? If you have three variables, each of your variables or each of your values, excuse me, I keep interchanging those words. Each of your values will be 33.3% or 33.333%. If you have four values, then 100 divided by 4 would give us 25%. So each of them would be equivalent to 25%. If you want one of them to weigh more than others, you can. So I'm going to show you two examples, but just think about the fact that how you are weighing them, is that going to be bringing some bias into your ranking? Are you putting one thing over some of the other ones? And how does that change our outcome? So over here, my final ranking, this one is going to be with equal weights in that first column, the pink column here. And so how I'm going to do that is I'm going to use this weighting formula. It's the weight percentage but without the percent sign, divided by 100 times the index value. And I add that and do it for each of the index or indices. So for here, I'm going to say equals, and this time I'm making them equal weight. So this one's going to be 25, since I have four things that I am putting together here, divided by 100. And then I'm going to multiply by the normalized health. And I'm going to add to that 25 divided by 100 multiplied by the average economics, add to that 25 divided by 100 multiplied by the normalized education, and add to that 25 divided by 100 multiplied by the normalized age. And then I'm going to hit enter. And it asks if I want to autofill it, and I'll say yes. And so now here, this is my one number that represents my city. And this is my ranking value for my city. And then I could actually go ahead and I could filter based on these numbers and find out which is my top city, which is my lowest city. And then maybe you don't want them all equal. So another example here I have, let's weight it towards economics. So if I want to weight it towards economics, let's say I want to make economics 50%. So I'm going to say equals 50 divided by 100 and multiply by the average of economics. Then I'm going to add that to, I'll have 50% more to go, and I'm going to make it 20 for health, 20 for education, and only 10% for age. I don't really care. Like, age is not a top priority for me, but the other ones are. So let's do 20 divided by 100 multiplied by the normalized health, and add that to 20 divided by 100 multiplied by the education cell, and add that to 10 divided by 100 multiplied by the normalized age. Now notice all of these values, 50, 20, 20, and 10, they all have to add up to 100%. So if you're adding up to more than 100% or less than 100%, then you need to change some of your weighting values. And I'm going to hit enter and autofill. And so now I have two different rankings. I have one that ranks based on equal weights. So all four of my values, health, economics, education, and age, are all equally weighted. And then I have one that's weighted more heavier towards economics, and that has a higher weight than the other ones. And at this point, then I can go and click in this top left cell, and I can say data, create a filter. And I can filter now by equal weights. So if I filter that one, it is going to show me, oops, I want to do Z to A. My top cities are El Cajon, Chico, Westland, Denver. If I choose to weight towards economics, I can change this one. And notice some of my top cities are still there, but some of them are different.